Hey you guys, okay, so today I'm talking about skincare, which is one of my very favorite things to talk about. I'm gonna get so in depth and tell you guys sort of like some things that has happened or hasn't happened with my skin, things that I've kind of like gone through and things that I feel will make such a difference. I've had so many people tell me that some of these products that I've recommended has like changed their skin. Over time, I've kind of tweaked it a little and like changed some things. I feel like it's gotten even better. And a lot of times in videos when I talk about my skincare, I'm like, oh, I've talked about that so much, let's just breeze over. But I realized it has changed a bit. And I thought, let's do an updated one because these things are actual legit miracle workers. I don't just have good skin, I actually have very finicky skin. I cannot do a lot of things. I can't wear a lot of things. I figured out over the years that years that I've stuck with products that are oil-free, it makes a difference for me. I can't have things that like clog my pores. I will break out because I am oily. So that's kind of a recipe for disaster. I've tried to use really good like skin oils and skincare stuff, like when I used the Luna oil and stuff for years, which I really liked, but it was like fixing something and then creating like all these other problems. Some people love that. Some people can use things and it just doesn't do that, and that would be wonderful, but like I have to really be careful. So if you're like me and your skin can be really finicky, it can break out very easily, I will just be honest with you guys. I was on the pill for years and years and years before I had Olivia, and then there were times when I went off of it, my skin would just turn to crap, like complete, just full on like crazy acne crap. After having Olivia, I went back on it for a little bit. I went off of it for a while. I just didn't want to be on it forever. You know, it was just something that I didn't feel like I just wanted to be on all the time. And then my biggest fear was, well, my skin's gonna go to crap now. And I didn't really, honestly, I was skeptical. Like, I know these things that I have been using work, but I didn't want to, you know, a long time ago come on here and say, guys, this works because of this. And then like a month later, break out like crazy. And I'll say, knock on wood, it's been good. While I've always said that if you've got like hormonal issues, I mean, I've said that so much, like talking about the pill and stuff, you know, if you've got, you can only do so much from the outside to fix what's on the inside. If your skin is like, you know, you're gonna have hormonal breakouts and you're using the same thing as you were before, you can't really do much about that. I will tell you though, if I can keep my skin, my pores cleaned out, if I can keep the bacteria off my face, if I can keep myself exfoliated and I'm not using products that are clogging, so that all of maybe the oil, the extra oil I'm producing because of hormones or because of whatever is like wanting to build up behind that and break the hell out, because that's exactly what happens. I feel like if you can honestly, like I feel like I've changed my whole perspective based on this. Like if I can actually use some of these things that keep my pores clean, keep that from happening, keep them from being clogged, then maybe, you know, within my skin's like ready to like go nuts. But I feel like this stuff is actually like working some miracles, and I really do want to share it with you because I know it could be it's just so frustrating when you feel like you can't control that, and you don't want to take all this medication and you don't want to do extreme things. Maybe try like this little recipe. It's working for me, I don't know, and it has been working very long term. So I'll tell you all about it. A lot of these you've seen before, some are new. I really just stick with like a few foundations that I know don't break me out. This Clinique Acne Solutions one is just so great. I also use the BB version of that. I love the Chantecaille, the little, the Future Skin in the jar that's like the oil-free one. There's just certain things I can use, and I just don't go nuts anymore and try anything and everything. I can't use a lot of powdery things. I realized over the years that's what was clogging my pores a lot when I would use powders, because the oil would mix with the powder. It would create like, it's just gross if you do think about it. It does clog your pores. So I've had just the best luck, and I really do hope that some of you guys can try some of these tricks and try some of these things and it'll work for you. My skin's been really balanced. I haven't had any dryness. When you first start using something different, you might notice that, but I've never had any of those issues. Sometimes, honestly, when I use things that people like, you know, say is so much better for your skin for whatever reason, oh, don't use things that have alcohol, I get that, like, but my skin looks so great when I do. I don't have any, like, my pores are gone, like, I don't have, like, any dryness. My skin is like plump and nice feeling. My dermatologist says my skin looks really nice. But then when I use things that are like, you know, that might work for someone that like hates the type of products that I use, my skin goes to crap and I would have like scars and like, so I would just rather, my point is, don't get caught up in what you read and what you should do. Use your common sense and think, if this is important to me, I'm gonna steer away from these ingredients because of X, Y, or Z. Don't just jump on a bandwagon. Use things that work for you, because I think you can only follow reviews so far. You have to try things on your own. And so anyways, okay, first thing, this is just amazing, and this is something that is a little different, but you guys have seen it before. It's the Neutrogena Oil-Free Acne Wash Cream Cleanser. Most of my stuff is not from the drugstore. That's not on purpose. Like I said, I use this. It's from the drugstore. Who cares? I'm not trying to find expensive things. I just use what works. If I could find all this at the drugstore, great. Don't care. But this replaced that Murad cream wash that I was using in the morning, that anti-aging one. This has the salicylic acid in it. It's not like a gel that strips your skin. When I use it in the morning, when my skin like glows, it feels like I've already used a moisturizer. When I find that with my skin that is breakout prone, I have to keep it moisturized. I have to use things that are very nourishing, yet things that keep my pores clean and that kind of fight breakouts and that keep them from happening. If my skin gets too dry or too irritated, it will produce too much oil and it'll break out. Anytime, I remember in the past when my skin would look a little flaky or anything like that, which I haven't had since using any of this, those were always the times that my skin was just going nuts, you know? So try this. This is great. I can use this morning and night. It's very inexpensive. And I told you guys there was like a couple weeks or a week and a half where I didn't use it in the morning. I was just like kind of using like a wipe and just kind of going. I had a little breakout. Don't know. So love that. And then also in the morning, this is something that is, I'll show you my scrub and stuff that I use at night, but this is so key. It's the Kate Somerville Anti-Bac Acne Clearing Lotion. It has benzoyl peroxide in it. Years and years ago when I used Proactive, the little cream that was the benzoyl peroxide was really, I think, all I needed to, well actually no, and I'll get into that, but the benzoyl peroxide has always like done me right. I have like white towels, white sheets. I've never noticed this one like coloring anything. I've never had that issue because a lot of people do kind of freak out about that, but this one is very nourishing. It's never dried my skin out, and I can use it twice a day, but if you do start using it, just use it once a day. And then I use my cream, which is right here. It's my SPF, my Clinique SPF 20, which this is just like, it feels just like a white sunblock. It just smells very sunblocky, but I put it on my skin in the morning, and it's just, it's oil-free, but it has that like slipperiness where it makes my makeup go on really well. I don't use a primer or anything. That's another thing. I don't load up a ton of products that are unnecessary on my skin because I just don't need a primer because my skin is good. Like it's in a good, I hate to say that, but it's like smooth. I'm not trying to smooth out like little flakiness or little like unevenness with like a silicone product, because I feel like I've gotten my skin in a good place. I just don't, you know, anytime I use a primer, I just don't notice a difference other than I've just added something extra to my skin. So I really do love this, and very, very recommended. I'll get into a few new things in a second, but that's kind of like my morning, right? So then I go into my foundation. Sometimes I don't wear foundation. I just kind of do what, you know, I just kind of do what works. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have a couple of really good masks and stuff to show you, but let me, throughout the day, this is another thing. When I set my makeup, like I said, I don't use a lot of heavy powders, especially in the areas where I break out. If I put powder right here, it'd be gross, and I would break out. And let me just tell you, and I hate to say that because I'm not saying all powders break you out. I'm not saying it's the powder. It's just when you're oily, when it mixes with the powder, it almost like just clogs your pores. It's just kind of gross, and you're gonna get oily whether you put powder on or not. With me, with my skin's more balanced, when I have like, you know, when it's not so dried out, it doesn't produce as much, but like, you know, my skin looks like skin. I'm not totally matted out right now. I might look a little shiny, but I'd rather look like that than have too much powder on. I just feel like I've totally changed that I used to be the total opposite. I could have never imagined. Just try it. Sometimes you'll be surprised breaking some habits. I think of so many things I used to do or not do and do now, and it's like, it's just night and day. So I don't know, powder isn't always bad. I use it like right here, you know, use it on my cheeks and stuff, but I'm just saying I cannot use it like in the traditional way that you think of using it. But when I touch up throughout the day, I'm not just constantly loading on powder. I use my little Blotterazzi, which is the little flat, it's in my purse downstairs, but it's a little flat, you know, beauty blender sponge. Spray a little bit of Evian on your face throughout the day, like instead of feeling like you need to just wipe off, you know, like if you feel oily and gross, blot it off and then spray this, you know, don't just keep applying a bunch of crap. So I really do like this. I think this is very good. So most of the treatments, most things that you do to your skin, it's like takes place at night. You know, like you'll do your mask, or sometimes I'll do a mask in the morning. But let me show you guys this. So this is one thing that I will say actually does work. I think the last time I showed these, I was like, yeah, these are good. I've used these for a while and I've really gotten into them. And I can tell you the days when like I wake up, my eyes are puffy, or if I'm about to do my makeup and I feel kind of like, bleh. These are so good, you guys. The Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Detox Hydrogel Eye Patches. I'll be honest with you, I think most of this stuff is like kind of a crock. Like I think some of these eye patches, some of these things, this I believe really does have like some kind of ingredient that actually helps. It says it fights, it naturally detoxes, like, you know, puffiness, dark circles, fine lines, wrinkles. I really do feel like it makes your eyes look so pretty, and I don't want to waste one. But I'll show you. Maybe I can just like put it back. I'll use it real soon. But they're little things that look like this. And I can't, oh, I pinched off a little piece. A lot of times I'll put it like this, like with the fat part under, like closer to my nose, if I'm like really puffy. But a lot of times, I'll tell you, most times, I will say 99% of the time, I do it this way, because you're still getting that there, because I don't really want it all the way down like this part. I want the big fat part over like my crow's feet, over this part that can look dry. So try it this way, because I always see people applying it like this, like with the fat part under your eye, and I'm like, I don't need it on my cheeks. I need it like on my eye. So I'll tell y'all, this is good stuff. I will tell you, this is good stuff. Try it. So great to use in the morning and whatever, but I like to use it in the morning mostly because I think you get more benefits from it in the morning, like before, obviously, like when your eyes are puffy or before you do your makeup. Even if your eyes aren't puffy, it just like smooths your skin. It makes them look really plump. So it's just a good treatment. And I actually don't think these are a crock. I think that those actually work. Okay, so when I take my makeup off, you guys know I've used this, the Boscia Makeup Breakup Cleansing Oil. I think that you can really screw your skin up by how you remove your makeup. I used to use wipes and stuff, which I still use sometimes, but I'll just tell you, you know, I feel like it kind of would make my eyes look a little wrinkly. It would kind of dry me out a little. I don't want to scrub my skin sometimes with those wipes. I love this. I just use this on my dry skin, and this being an oil has never bothered me. This has never been an issue. You know, I put it on. It's not like an oily, gross feeling oil. You put it on dry skin. You make sure, you know, you kind of make sure everything kind of comes off, and then you just rinse it off, and then you wash your face. And it just works really well, and so I love it, and I just always feel like my skin is very like nourished. And then I wash my face. I use this, the Lancer Method Polish for oily and congested skin. I have used so many of these. I have to have a physical exfoliant for my skin. I think it's good to break down some of like the surface stuff. And then that way all of the stuff that you use can kind of get in there, because a lot of the stuff that I use is kind of like a chemical, you know, exfoliant or something that's gentle, but you know, that kind of like dissolves the dead skin. But this actually scrubs it away, and I think it's important. And the actual like goo, or the actual like, not goo, like the base of the product is very, like the pasty part of the liquidy part of the product is very nourishing. It feels slippery. It feels like moisturizing. Nothing that I use makes my skin feel squeaky, and I kind of like that. So it has like, I think it has like salicylic acid in it or something. But you know, it keeps you from breaking out, and I have had just the best results from that. It used to be called blemish control, but they changed it to oily congested skin. So it's the same exact one, it's just called something different now. After I wash my face, if I have any like residue left over, if I have any like lash glue that feels sticky, I use this. It's the Chlorane waterproof eye makeup remover with soothing corn flour. It's one of those that, you know, you have to shake, but love that. I've talked about that a ton lately. That's just such a good one. I just put it on a little cotton ball and just kind of clean up my eyes, and sometimes I like to just rub that into my lashes anyways, because it says it's good for your eyelashes, and I feel like my eyelashes have been really good lately. Don't they look really good? These are fake. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. So next, I use these. These I really do feel, this is probably like, I don't want to say the harshest thing that I use, but I feel like using, when you are prone to breaking out, using something with glycolic acid in it is kind of a must. I feel like I need a physical exfoliant, I need this with glycolic acid, and I need benzoyl peroxide. And that whole little formula comes from my Proactive that I used years and years ago. I loved it, but then I just got to the point where like I wanted to use other stuff, and some of it wasn't as good. So I kind of like got grown-up versions of those things that also did like anti-aging things. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, this is a 10% glycolic acid complex. It still has salicylic acid in it. Anti-aging benefits, Pore Minimizer, Allantoin, whole leaf aloe vera, chamomile, green tea, soothing arginine. This does have alcohol in it. So no matter all that, no matter that it makes my skin look great, my skin feels healthier and plumper and less, you know, crepey and old and less dry than it ever has. People see alcohol, they're like, no. I swear, you guys, I am so sensitive to products with alcohol in it. I will get busted blood vessels. I used to have like when I would use like old crappy toner when I was a kid, like when I was in high school and stuff, I would get busted blood vessels on my face. I've never had this. Let me just tell you, one time I told my dermatologist that and I was like, yeah, you know, and they go away. She was like, they don't go away. I used to have this giant one here. I used to get them here. I had them on my nose. I feel like my skin just kind of like got them back. You know what I'm saying? They do go away. I've had them on my lips from like lip plumper that's too harsh, like, you know, the really strong, like, what is it, that like Too Faced lip injection, you know, that's like really harsh. They always go away. Okay, whatever. I'm saying this has never done anything like that. So again, try things on your own. You might be surprised. Don't just read something and think it's bad. Yes, if you did a ton of stuff with alcohol in it, or maybe certain types or certain, it'd be bad. But that is actually made a specific way for your skin by people that probably know more than people that are being super judgy about it. Okay. So just try it. I'm telling you, your skin will be clear. I'd rather my skin be like clear and healthy and comfortable. I'm not even giving anything up using, like, I don't even understand, like, it's not even doing anything. Okay, whatever. I'm just saying, whenever I mention my skin, that's like one thing that people say, oh, it has alcohol in it. And I'm like, gosh, you probably like, God knows what all they're using that. But I'm just saying, like, you just use what you want. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. But I'm going to use it because my skin's looking real good and I'm not going to not use it. So, okay. And then I use the same thing. I use this at night. So I do use this twice a day. It's my anti-bac lotion. And that honestly feels like kind of nourishing. It feels kind of nice. And then I don't pile on some thick cream. I just use this. It's the Clinique Moisture Surge 72 Hour. I've always used the Moisture Surge, you know, just they look the same, but I believe they've replaced the original Moisture Surge with this one. Originally, I was like, when that came about, I was so upset. But this one, actually, I really do like better. I think that it does feel a little more like nourishing, and it really does make your skin feel so good without being like grossness on your skin. But I even sometimes at night, I'll apply a lot so it feels a little, and then it'll just kind of sink in. So I love that. That is like my favorite moisturizer. So I have been religious about this. This was a pretty little pricey thing, but I'll tell you guys, this is like one of those things where when I mentioned it, I had so many of you guys mention it too and say, I have been using that. That stuff is legit. It changed my skin. It's the Drunk Elephant Sukari Baby Facial. It has 25% AHA, 2% BHA, so it's like a resurfacing like thing. You put it on and it doesn't even look like you've got anything on at first. It just looks like a little shiny. It's kind of like, looks like a clear, like a more like translucent foundation, you know? It's kind of a little tan in tone. You put it on for like 20 minutes. I use it at night once a week. It literally like cleans out every bit of dead skin. If you've got anything that's starting to clog your pores, it says it literally like cleans out your pore lining. Does that like sound super satisfying? I don't know. It sounds super satisfying to me. So anyways, like when you first put it on, it tingles and you'll feel like, whoa, and then you just don't feel anything, you know? For like 20 minutes, you rinse it off, your skin just looks great. I really do feel like this is doing good things. So I love that. And then I haven't, you know, I used to have masks that were like for, like that jelly one, you know, that would like be for like, you know, moisture and stuff like that. I used all of that one. I haven't really purchased another one to replace that because I do find a lot of times at night, if I can just use the Moisture Surge 72 Hour and just pile it on, I really don't feel like I need that, or I can even do that in the morning, you know? So I just don't want to buy a million products that do the same thing. Anyways, this is my other favorite mask. This is like a true mask, whereas the baby facial is more of like, I don't know. I mean, it is a mask. It's like a treatment, whatever. So this is the Colleen Rothschild Clarifying Detox Mask. A lot of these masks that are like, oh, it's detoxing, it's clay. It's really just sucking the life out of your skin and it's just drying you out. And that just does not do anything for me. I love this because it has like antibacterial properties. I believe it has like silver in it. It has like charcoal, some stuff, you know. I love the way this smells. I don't know. It's very like a weird, satisfying, like skincare-y, creamy smell. I don't know what it is, but I really do like it. Maybe it's like charcoal-y. I don't know, but this stuff is so good, you guys. I just put it on and I try just to use a very thin layer. I've realized you don't have to just like pile it on. I use it everywhere. I use it all over my skin. I can use, it's gentle enough. Sometimes when I would use those types of masks that were really clarifying or really like clay and like drying, I would just put them in my T-zone and like leave them off of these areas. I can put this one all over, and when I rinse it off, it feels slippery. You know, it feels like it's nourished my skin, but I feel like it's gonna keep me from breaking out, and it does. So give this a shot. I love, 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 love Colleen Rothschild, love her, but that is a really good product. And then the last thing, so for your eyes, I might mention a few lip things too really quickly, but this has actually really helped me so much. I've used maybe about almost half of it. It's the Colleen Rothschild Retinol Supreme Eye Serum. This is the best eye treatment I've ever used. I don't really feel like I have to put a lot of products here or like on top of my eyelids, and a lot of products aren't made to do that. So don't just think it's an eye cream. I'm gonna just put it everywhere. It has retinol in it. You really wanna keep that below your eyes. But what I do is I just put a little bit on my fingertips, just the tiniest bit. It's very rich, and I rub it all into this area, like, you know, like right where your crow's feet kind of like go into your temples where you can get a little dry. And then just all right here, and I kind of pull it down a little. And I'm not kidding you guys, my skin has looked less crepey. I have less lines, less crow's feet. I'm gonna be 34 this month. I'm not saying I'm old, that is very young. I'm a very young lady. I'm a very young, hip gal. Don't say that, that was not a good thing to say. You know what I mean. But I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so old, you guys. Like, I'm not, okay? I'm young, but at the same time, I'm not 23, 24, certainly not. And you do have to start kind of caring for that area. In your 30s is when you start noticing that kind of stuff. So I love it. I think it has just made such a big difference, you guys. Please try this. This is so good. I think that all of you guys would like it. It's the best retinol product I've used, like for my eyes. I think it really does work. Sometimes with eye stuff, I'm like, nah, like I'll just try something new. When I'm done with that one, I will be like, I'll have a new one waiting because I'm like addicted to that stuff. It actually works. It's really good. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna really go into a lot of lip stuff or anything. I just use my Sarah Hap. I mean, I love this lip clay, it's nice, but I think that the scrub is a must-have, and then I like this night cream, the Dream Slip for your lips, or night lip balm, and then I love the original, like, the lip slip, you know, like the pretty sparkly one that you can wear during the day. But you guys, that's it. I really hope that you'll try some of these things. I loved sharing my skincare stuff. I know a lot of times I just kind of blow over these products because I feel like I do have videos where I have mentioned a lot of them at length, but I just wanted to kind of get a little more in depth in this one and kind of like share with you guys some things that are a little more like personal with my skin, and sharing that I think I'm at the point where I can really say that hormonal issues or not, this will help you if you have breakouts when you go off the pill, or breakouts not even dealing with that, and you're just, you know, not even dealing with the pill, or just like, you know, you've just always broken out at that time of the month. Try these things. It's probably due to your oil building up in your clogged pores, which is your hormones producing oil, blah, blah, blah. You get it. These products will keep your pores clean, and I think it's really made a huge difference for me. This is something I've never experienced in my life, being off of that and having clear skin. So, this is something I've never experienced in my life, being off of it for a very extended period of time, like long term, and still having good skin. So I just really wanted to kind of share that with you guys. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Love y'all so much. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I will link to everything, including this fun top. Remember this from my video? I remember anytime anyone ever like sees me in this color, which this is my favorite color ever, not to wear. I do think it's pretty, but to wear, but it's just my favorite color in general. I love just, I've always, my favorite color has never changed since I was a kid, just blue. I just love blue. But these are just so nice, you guys. I will link to this one, and I'm wearing it with just my little white shorts that I always do. And just really nice. So I will link to that. I think that you guys will love that. And yeah. Ooh. So thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.